Oh, I'm recording. That's
Okay.
exciting.
It really is. It's really,
Mm,
it feels really, really good. Yeah.
What
mm.
feels really good?
Being in this 21-day challenge,
Oh, good.
like
Yeah.
I'm really lit up by it. It feels really, um, like portals just opened up of like, oh yeah, yes, deeper, more. Yes, yes, yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad Dawn did it. She wobbled for a couple weeks and
I was wibbly wobbly.
really
I was
wobbling.
definitely like a weeble wobble, and I never got a clear no, I'm not doing it. It was just like, like I just didn't have any energy. But the personal invitations, instead of needing to go through the whole process of getting an email out, was the thing I needed to do.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah.
It's
It
what
was
got
good.
me. I think if I got an email, I might have been in like, because email annoys me. I just, because so much of it is junk. And when I
Right?
get to certain things, I'm really happy. But like, that was a really nice interruption in the process to connect with your transmission
Hmm.
versus, like that just felt like I gave you my reflections, right? It just was
Yeah.
perfect for me. So thank you.
It was for
Well,
everybody.
yeah, you're welcome.
Even
And
me,
that,
who had
yeah.
already kept saying, I want you to do this, and I hope you do this, and I hope you find a way to do this. And
And I found a way. It was
you
like
did.
it was, and I had to find my way through it. At least that piece sort of on my own, like
Yeah.
I couldn't force it to be anything else. And then anyways, I was inspired by somebody saying that they were talking about personal emails to people. It's like, I can't do an email, but I am inspired to do a video because I feel like that's what I want to do. I want to be face to face right now.
Hmm.
I would love to be in the room, it would be optimal, but this is exceptional still. I just feel it's
I
so
agree.
good. So I'm just going to assume that it's us, and whoever wants to pop in, they can. Um, so we'll take a second to ground ourselves and to be present with all of our own energy, like pulling our energy back into ourselves. I'll just say sometimes it's really challenging even to remember that this is an option
Mhm.
and not just an option, a necessary gift for ourselves. So feel all of your energy coming back into your body. Feel your energy in your feet, like that. Ah, my feet have my energy in them. Hmm. Invite your energy back into your hips and your thighs and your legs. Hmm. And feel the presence of your own energy filling up all the spaces. And in your womb
Mm.
and in your torso and your heart and in your breast, feel your energy returning to all the spaces. Hmm. And your throat, feel your own energy occupying your throat chakra, your voice. Your manifesting power. Feel your energy returning to your shoulders. Oh, those glorious shoulders. And your arms. Oh, that hold. And your fingers. Feel every space in your arms just full of yourself. Allow your head, your mind, your brain, your ears, your nose, all of your senses to be full and present to your own energy. And feel your energy expanding from this vessel of your body, just as much as it wants to, but just keep it kind of close. Don't let it go all the way out into the ethers, but keep it really present. I'd say maybe 6 to 18 inches from your body, whatever feels really right for you. And if that's too tight for you, Katie Max, let it go out, let it go out as far as it wants. But notice you've got some edges around your space, right? Just notice that wherever your energy goes, that there's a limit right now. Not always, but right now, just notice how far your energy occupies the space around you. When you feel fully full and completely enraptured is the word with your own energy. Hmm. Come back to the room, open your eyes, be present, and just share a little moment of self appreciation for your energy. Whoever wants to go first, voice what they appreciate about their own
Goodbye.
feeling sense.
That was really funny.
It was funny.
Well, when I get links for Zoom without the ID and the passcode, then I have to go to it from AOL. And then it takes me to an external application, and it takes like 3 steps to open Zoom. So just having a link to click on like that, and then I forget to close AOL. And
Oh,
so
I see.
because it takes me to Zoom and then I forget. And so that happens. I like it when I have the ID and the thing and I go into the Zoom app and sign
Hmm.
on. That's so much easier for me.
Good.
um, I appreciate that, like, my energy was about 8 to 10 inches from my body, and it felt really good. Um, yeah, it presence is that. It's like it's for me, and I really appreciate, like, when I'm not well, when I'm in ecstasy, it's like whoa, right? And it's all over the place, but I mean, just so in wonder, right? But this just felt
Mm,
very centering to be aware of my container of my energy.
mm.
So I really appreciate that.
Me too. Hmm.
I appreciate that I try to keep my aura and energetic field within about 12 to 18 inches because what I've noticed is when it gets bigger than that, it becomes invasive in other people's spaces and it's repelling to them as well. I'm unapproachable. And so I learned this from
Mm,
working with Brian, because he taught us how to bring our auric field in and how to expand it and what it feels like when you're sitting in
mm,
somebody else's auric field that is huge or big or invasive, right? It's just so I just learned how
mm.
to maintain that and it feels really comfortable. and um, manageable for me.
Hmm.
So
Good. I appreciate that my energy field has a boundary of about 6 inches, and then it pulsates out to about 12 and it comes back. So I was feeling and noticing that it's a little, I want to call it loosey goosey, but not in a bad way, right? Like it's just a little fluid. My energy field is so, I was noticing that it's feels yeah, feels flowy.
Mm, love that.
Hmm. Okay. So my plan for today was to have us feel each other's energy and really give that gift of language to each other of how does it feel when we're present with someone else's energy and their activation code. And I will start with us, those of us that are present. And then we'll, go move on to everyone else's. But does that feel good? Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
I would love to have you go first because I want to grasp the concept of what you're actually asking.
Okay. So I will go first, as in we will uh I'm inviting you into the energy and activation code of, we'll start with abundance because I think that feels easiest for me. So it might not be easiest for you, but we'll start there. And when you're in that energy of abundance, when you're feeling the activated, and that's super turned on, right? There's buzzy bees about it. What energy or what feelings in your body do you feel when you are tapped into that energy? My energy of abundance.
So you just had us fill ourselves up with us.
Yep.
And I'm having a really hard time getting connected with your energy because I am so full
Full
of
of
me.
yourself.
So,
That's so
Okay.
good.
right,
That's
intentionally,
that's amazing.
I know. And so I am tuning into what is abundance for me, not your
Oh.
energy field of abundance, because then now I would have to get out of this very sacred space that we just created to be in my energy and only have my energy filling me up. And it's really confusing.
So do what you just said. Stay in your energy. How does abundance feel in your body?
So it feels like there's a spectrum. And end of the spectrum is relief and familiar. The other end of the spectrum feels unreachable, attainable. And then there's everything in between, which is topic dependent for me, that the experience of abundance is very topic dependent. It's not, at this point, that's how I have created my relationship with it. So I feel tons of abundance, as we've talked about, around everything art related. Space to do it, time to do it, art
Hmm.
supplies, sharing my art with other people, like all of that. There's a ton of abundance around that. Um, and money is a different conversation at times, and we've just had this conversation
Hmm.
twice in the last couple weeks, and it's really up for me to be looking at and feeling into and getting connected with why would I hold that at anything? Why would I hold that? Why would I hold money in any place but abundance? Like, and some of it doesn't even feel like it's my stuff, like it's inherited
Hmm.
stuff that's so ingrained that I haven't replaced it with. So maybe one of the exercises I can do is use the fill me up exercise as my energy, but my energy of abundance versus whatever is currently in my system.
Yeah. You're also abundant in friends.
Oh, I'm very abundant in friends. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm abundant
And
in food. I'm
connections.
abundant in clothes. I have a lot of
Hmm.
places where I have abundance. I have an abundance of space where I live and abundance of storage space in my garage. I mean, I have abundance in a lot of places. So I know what it is.
Hmm.
It's
So,
not like an alien concept.
yeah. Okay, I can't stop myself from this little point. Like literally abundance is all there is. There's an abundance of crap in the world and there's abundance of good. And we really get to choose which spectrum do we want to tune into. And that I'll just say that right now. So,
Yeah.
Love that.
yeah. And I love the fact that you wanted, like not wanted, but like you made a correction in the field. This is your feeling of abundance, not just tuning into mine. Like this is, yeah. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Katie Max, how do
Uh,
you feel in your abundance?
yes. Okay. So abundance is all there is like, thank you, I can go now.
Oh, you're welcome.
um, yeah, it's so interesting. So like I was feeling it was almost in my body. I was feeling like this kind of expansion and contraction of breath,
Mm,
right? Which is so life-giving and so there's just movement and it's really gentle. Um, and it felt really good. So that was my body sensation of abundance. And I also really relate to what Pamela said about like being filled with my energy. So it was like, okay, what is abundance for me? Because I'm all in me, right? Which feels
yeah.
really good too. Not that it wouldn't be feel good to be connecting to yours, but I'm really into mine at the moment.
I love it.
So um yeah, I have such an appreciation for my abundance of friends and relationships. I too collect friends and have amazing relationships and um yeah, on my condition path of that, I just want to say like it's changed over the years and I have so many people I've been in relationship with for 40 plus years. And um and then tons that I or not tons but many that I have been shorter, but the depth of the shorter ones that I've cultivated is as deep as the 40. So I really appreciate that abundance. It's like,
Mm,
okay, so it isn't the time. I appreciate the time frame I have with people, but like I have changed
mm,
so much, like my internal abundance rather than seeking it from outside of me, which is really the conditioned path to
yeah.
like giving my relationship so much more space. Like I think, the conditioned path of abundance for me was like holding on, and the abundance
Oh my
is an
gosh.
open hand.
I am so loving this.
So I'm seeing the effects of that, right? So we had these friends over for dinner. I had a friend from that I went to Catholic school with on when I was young, and um, she came over on Friday night, and like I just I love her so much. So she was just in my field of love, and she left. And I think I shared this with you. And she was like, "Oh my God, it was so deep." It wasn't deep for me at all, but like for her, it was really deep. And it was like, wow, that's so, and I think Pamela said something to me too. I was like, that was so interesting because for her, it was really deep. Um, and I love that. And then my friends that I've also known for about 30 years on Saturday night, they were like, God, you didn't contact us through, like, I used to be much more into the drama in my relationships, which was very confining, like
Mm,
getting the attention and support, right?
yeah.
Versus being available and present. Um,
Mm,
and so I really celebrate like my maturity in abundance, like how really confined I was holding things so that I couldn't connect to the abundance. I connected to the scarcity on, and that was really big. So I just am really recognizing the contrast of how I've engaged in my life. And and then I told Dawn about this, and I had a friend of mine from the storytelling come over, and I wrote about it today, and it's so abundant. Like the space to tell the truth is abundant. Like the
mm,
space to be present and be in the unknown is abundant. So like all these qualities that I value are so abundant in the space. And right now the neighbor's cat is abundant. This cat just comes over to get loved on. I'm like, hi, I'm on a call. But I
mm,
just, yeah, I really cherish the level of abundance I feel, and within myself. Okay, I have one other thing I want to say about this. This was very abundant today and very powerful. Dror came over today. He was the owner of the company, the um, construction company, and we had to give the last check. And I'm so grateful Michael was gone, so I didn't have to manage anything. Like, not that it just, there's a management because Michael wants to get along and I just want to be authentic.
yeah.
Right. So there's that thing. So he came to the door. I opened the door. I felt so centered in my energy, and it was
Mm,
all contained for me, by me, with me. And I was civil.
mm.
I filled out the form. I think I put it back in the, oh, here it is. I'm so proud of myself. So he gave me this form to fill out. And I said, am I supposed to sign it, or am I supposed to fill it out with you here? And he said, yes. So I put my back to him intentionally, filled it out so that I just kept his energy away from me. And one of the questions is, how do you rate us? And I had an option to do unsatisfactory, need improvement, satisfactory, good, and excellent. And I was like, need improvement. Like that's really true. And then it said, please check yes or no if we may use your name for our customer referral list and social networks. No, right? So
That's clear.
and there's just that sense of like my energetic to real, and this is so big for me. And I know you both know
Mm,
this with this
yeah.
perpetrator dude, right? And then he's like, if you need anything from me, I'm like, no, thank you. And thank you. And I just led him to the door and closed the door while he was putting on his shoes and locked it.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it just felt
Mm,
civil and very clear for me. And I really,
mm,
so I appreciate my abundance of authenticity and the
mm,
freedom and the abundance of freedom to step into more of that authenticity. And I too share a lack consciousness around money. Um, and I'm really desiring to shift that because it actually impedes my other connection to abundance, right? So um, it dishonors me. And I feel that now. Like there was something about my fear around money or not enough or all these things. And it's like, no, it's so abundant. We just did this kitchen. I just gave him a check for $1,800, like abundant, right? Like,
yeah.
okay. Like, and I think, and this is really my truth, like of my conditioned self. if there are people suffering, I can't enjoy my abundance, financial abundance.
Mm.
And I'm ready to release that.
Shift that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, shift it because yeah, but it's
Hmm.
very exciting to me. And there was some connection with the belonging in that. Like if I stay contained, then I belong. And we can all kind of
Mm.
kvetch about the things versus no, I am abundant in all areas. So
Yeah.
I see my conditioned path and I see my liberated path. And the last thing I'm going to say is what I really appreciate in this process is I'm seeing, so I have no judgment about the conditioned path. I welcome it. Like it is the gateway to the liberated path of consciousness. And so
Mhm.
that just feels so freeing to me, which feels very abundant.
when you're
Uh,
conscious of it.
mhm.
Yes. Oh yeah. But I also reach out to be conscious, right? Like getting back into therapy and doing these things to say, where are my blind spots? Like I said to my therapist, I am so self-aware with so many blind spots, right?
I love
You
it.
know,
I
and
kind of
and I,
want to borrow that.
yeah, and so I seek to know, to understand, to engage, to yeah, and I really love that too. So that feels very abundant.
So two things that you said, one of which, because we're both in our own energy and going through that, it brought up a question, which I want to get into after I share the second thing, which is how do we actually energetically connect with other people's energetics of their activation codes? Kind of a big question. So,
That is.
yeah, but the point that you were making around opening your hand and closing your hand, it's such a great image because I can feel where I apply that. And I am going to use that image of, I'm going to borrow what you shared. Thank you, Katie.
You are so
Um,
welcome.
because it helps me connect with where I am with abundance on something. And
Mhm.
one of the things Don and I were talking about around money for me is safety. You
Mhm.
know, when I have whatever I consider enough, then I feel safe. And when I don't feel safe. And so there's this very complex um, thing, layered thing around money that has to do with gets hooked into safety
Mhm.
as opposed to other things that don't get hooked into safety. Or they do, but it's not a problem.
Mhm.
Right?
Right.
So it
Mm.
for me, safety becomes this determining factor around where I feel abundant and where I don't. I remember one day when I was living in the desert, I have a lot of art supplies and they're very organized into great detail. Containers with things that are structured by size and color and everything. So, and style. And one of my friends, when I was living in the desert, came over one day and just judged it all as hoarding. And I
Mm.
went, and that was a projection on her part, and I knew that. But I could feel that lack of safety. If
Mm.
this is hoarding, then that's not safe. If I look
Mm.
at it as an abundant, like I have everything I need when I'm ready to do an art project and I can do whatever I want because I have everything I need, that feels abundant.
Mhm.
And so it's kind of some of the judgments that show up around stuff can also determine my relationship with abundance or non-abundance.
Mm. 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 So I want to, I kind of want to add this little, and we don't have to do this, but I just find this is one of the funnest things I could ever do. Is when somebody says something very wise, if we could just like really like get into it, like, kind of like an improv
Mhm.
thing is like, like I really like that because we're up leveling energy here. And I just, I don't want to dismiss it like, oh, that didn't just happen. No, that was really wise. And it also brings up giggles in me. So, which to me feels expansive, like percolating energy. So thank you for your
Yeah,
wisdom.
thank you. That was great. I really relate. And I want to say I got a text message on Friday night from one of my best friends who projected all this stuff on me. And I was like, wow. And instead, this is the breakthrough, this is abundance. I was like, okay, I read through it quickly and I just said, I'm sorry, you're frustrated and disappointed. I have a friend coming in about 2 minutes. I will address this later. And I just want to acknowledge I received this. And then I read it that night after my friend left. And it was like, oh, this isn't mine. And the distinction for me, I used to take on was what wasn't mine to try to make it okay and to try to fix it and feeling like, oh my God, maybe I'm not, maybe I'm a blind spot. But my body was like, no. And what I've done is I have not been boundaried because she's in so much movement. Oh, I froze. Um,
We can still
she's
hear you.
okay. She's in so much movement and there's nothing grounded in her space. And I've tried to dance with that so that we can stay connected. And so she ended up saying to me on Sunday, well, and she says this, maybe we can connect, maybe. And I never feel a commitment to connecting. And so I said, maybes don't work for me. They really challenge me. So when you're ready to give me a time, I'll let you know if it works for me. If not, I'll get back to you at the time. So we're going to connect tomorrow. There was no urgency of like, oh, we have to fix this today, which is kind of where I used to go.
Mhm.
And I'm just relaxed. And it was beautiful. That is so abundant.
That is. And you- it's an abundance of time,
Mm-hmm.
right? And space
And breath, just to
and breath.
let it be, let it marinate for a minute. And when we connect on Tuesday, it's there's nothing to fix, there's just connection and what works and doesn't in both of our fields. So it's like, oh, that's what that is, not a wrong, right, wrong, good or bad.
Mm,
That feels really abundant to me.
me too.
That's a great example. And
Hmm.
you couldn't have felt abundance if you'd taken it on.
Oh no, I would have been in a, I wouldn't have been present. Like what I realized was, oh, I just kind of scanned through it. So I wasn't even fully present because my friend was
Hmm.
5 minutes from coming. But I took in the energy of it. And then when I read it, it was like, oh yeah, like this isn't mine. Like this isn't mine. And one of the things she said is you don't have empathy for me. And I'm like, so I texted back and said, that's one of my superpowers, right? So we both know I have empathy for you, right? Like that's a
Right.
known thing. And it was just
Mm.
kind. It was like, but it was really what's shifting in the abundance is I didn't feel the need to take care of her. I needed to own my experience and communicate from my experience of receiving that, of like, that's a really clear non-truth. And and then I was like, I don't want to text. I want to talk to you because texting is like, this is deep. You're asking for stuff
Hmm.
that's, texting isn't the tool I want to use. Right. So, like, all the, like, I just took such beautiful care of myself. And I just remembered that, like, oh, yeah, that's what allows the flow. Not me trying to meet her, but me meeting me and having clarity of my own energy.
My very wise therapist told me and other women who were in a group that we were in together in 1989, 1990. that anything anybody says about you is not about you, it's about them.
Mhm.
And so her comment to you about not being not having empathy for her was
Mhm.
about her lack of empathy for herself, right? So,
Yes.
and it's so obvious that she couldn't receive your empathy if she's not being self-empathetic. There's just no match there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
She
Yeah.
couldn't, she wouldn't even recognize it. It would be like an alien language if she's not being self-empathetic. And so there's nothing you could ever do anyway to fill her up with that because she's not open to it,
Yeah. Yeah.
not really asking.
That's right. And I have a whole hit of what this is really about that has nothing to do with what she came forth with,
Of course.
right?
Of
Which is I'm
course.
becoming friends with her boyfriend.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's really scary for her. That's
Yeah.
my sense. Like, oh, it's very threatening,
Hmm.
So yeah, but the difference in the abundance in the liberated path is spaciousness as opposed to, ooh, I'm scared, and oh, like, what does this mean? And oh, like it, that's my energy when I'm like scared. And then this when I'm not.
Yay. I love this. I took lots of notes. And uh, are the two of you finished? I can just say one thing for me. When I'm in the energy of abundance, I'm very present. I don't know how else to describe it, and especially after hearing you talk, Katie, and some of the things that Pamela said. Like, I just know, like, for me, being present and being in that space of I'm with my life, I'm with my friends, I'm with whatever the situation is financially. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm with it. And to me, that feeling is what feels like abundance, because I
Mm,
can be with it and not need it to change in order for me to feel abundant, right? Because I'm with it. So that's my
That's profound.
very
mhm,
That's a very profound consciousness
Mm,
because the option for me is push it away, ignore it, don't pay attention to it. So if I'm with it, then I am appreciating, and you know how much we have learned about
yeah.
self-appreciation of the shit and how it makes us have a relationship with the shit that's not resistance,
Mm.
right? And it's the same thing. The same
mhm,
conversation that you're having is that if I'm with it, then I'm actually with it. Then there is a relationship as opposed to me pushing it away and ignoring it and not wanting to deal with it or whatever other choices I could easily and do make. But the with it piece is very, very helpful for me. That is an opening door for me.
mm.
That's
That's
exciting. I feel like
awesome.
lots of energy flowing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's I think it's that is the whole kit and caboodle for me anyway, is presence.
Mm.
And I'm in a lot of trouble in my condition path when I'm not present. Like that's what stirs up my condition path,
Mhm.
is I'm in the past or I'm in the future, I'm in a lot of anxiety or what have you. And my presence, and that's finally what I got when I wrote about it today with my friend who came on Sunday, and they took my energy to their therapist and was like, what I do with this, and it was presence and celebration and love. and
Mm.
and and now, and since you asked me, you gave me the homework, Don, like I'm really seeing that as what has created the disruption. Like I feel like so much is opening up for me that I don't
Mhm.
need to fix, that I must remain present with.
That's so good. I'm so
Right?
glad.
Instead of push it away and try to get
Mm,
small or um, with the consciousness of really having the container for my energy.
hmm.
So it's, I feel like I'm in a, okay, things are really moving.
They
Right.
are they are really moving.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So who's next with their activation code? And we'll say which one do you want? Because we'll choose one of them to focus on.
I
Who
don't think
wants
we're
to?
enough time to do all of that,
Yeah.
but
Well, I'll jump in because I would really like to hear what higher perspectives feels like in your field and in your body. Um,
hmm, that's a piece of cake for me.
so well bragged.
So go. So go. Share.
Well, I mean, I just
Rock
feel like
on.
I live in higher perspective many
Mm,
hours of my day, not all day long every day, but many hours of my day. And sometimes it's a little thing like, oh, it's time to get up away from the computer and go to the mailbox, which I did today. I've been to the mailbox for a week. And then later it was, okay, go down to the car and get the other bag of groceries that you didn't bring up because it was too heavy from Safeway this morning, right? So but it was like the timing, if I had forced it, it wouldn't have been a higher perspective. It would have been forced. And if I had done it out of right timing for my body and my psyche and everything, then it would have not been a higher perspective. So, as a tangible day to day higher perspective, that's like an application of the day to day is where does my physical body want to express energy and
mm,
what's in alignment for that, timing wise and physical choice of activity because my mailbox and my car are completely opposite directions. So it wasn't like I could do them both at the same time, right? So, I mean, I could have, but I don't do that. So, choosing, right? So, and then there
mm,
the higher perspective that I feel like you carry a lot, which I'm really attuned to in conversations that we have, usually when we're talking, is where we go with this, is just what's the bigger picture?
mm,
That's another word for it. What's the bigger picture? What is the highest possible option? You know, we were dealing with that during I don't know, different conversations during the remodel
Mhm,
about the bigger picture, the higher perspective for why this remodel was happening and why all of this shit happened. That
mhm,
had it not happened, you wouldn't have dealt with and healed all the abuse that was asking to be healed, right?
mhm, mhm,
Repeatedly, them being abusive, so that you had to keep taking a stand, keep taking a stand. That was all higher perspective, right?
mhm,
Getting enraged, all higher perspective.
mhm. Being expressed, higher perspective.
Yes.
mm,
Yeah. Yeah. Saying it out loud
Mhm.
with the energy behind it. You
mm,
Yes.
weren't holding it back or trying to be diplomatic. You were like full on, no, full
Mhm.
on, no fucking way are you going to be treating me like this.
Mhm. Mhm.
And every time we had that conversation, you were having aha moments of getting how that was true and how then, oh, this is the higher perspective of what's really happening.
Exactly. And it was very hard to get there during that because I was 6 years old.
yeah.
Right.
Oh
Right.
my
So,
gosh,
like,
yeah.
so that was like so helpful to a 6 year old that was like trapped and going,
No
right? Like,
voice. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, yeah, so
Oh,
good. So good,
yeah.
Pamela. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's really good. I love the little last part about being your 6-year-old self, because one of the things that I'm sensing about that is that when we're in our 6-year-old self, our 6-year-old self doesn't have awareness that there's any other perspective other than what the fuck is going on right here. And, our minds aren't developed to think anything other than what a 6-year-old thinks about getting my
Totally.
needs met, or not even getting my needs met. Are my needs being met by that person, that adult, right? Like that's because we're meant to be taken care of at 6 years old, right?
Exactly.
So in my body, Katie Max, when
Yes.
and where I want to start with this is like, when would I like to tap into these higher perspectives? Like, when does this become real alive for me in my body? And for me, it's like if I'm looking at things from uh, a fighting perspective, if I'm in a fight, because I am a fighter, I get there sometimes. um, and there's some, like the idea that somebody is wrong and somebody's right,
Hmm.
and one of them is good or one of them's bad, like, those polarities, and
Hmm.
I'm feeling righteous. This is when I know I want higher perspectives, because it helps me see. I mean, the quote, I think I had it on my Facebook page for many years, which was the um, beyond the field of right doing and wrong doing. I'll meet you beyond, right? And that's what
Yes.
higher perspectives feels like to me, is like a place beyond someone's doing something wrong, someone's doing something right. A higher perspective is there's so much more going on than just two people having an argument, or there's so much more going on. And so for me, that's when I want a higher perspective. And what does it feel like in my body?
Hmm.
Well, um, I will say there's a there is a creative aspect to it. It feels creative because I have to think of something that's different than what I'm thinking in the moment, right?
Hmm.
Um, and it feels like relief. So it feels higher perspectives can feel in my body. Um, like fun,
Hmm.
it takes the seriousness off of it. Like that's the part that feels alive for me. Like it just loosens the seriousness,
Hmm.
because God knows that or Goddess, or whoever knows, the people who know that I can get dramatic and take things seriously. I mean, in my personal life. So when I want a higher perspective, and sometimes that perspective is, I'm just thinking about, well, I'll think about raising kids. Like, this is where it's going. I had a lot of times where, like, oh my gosh, they are going to be horrible kids when they grow up, horrible humans. And then the higher perspective, one of Anna Marie's teachers told me when she was in kindergarten, oh, it all comes out in the wash. You're a great parent. It'll all come out in the wash. Like, don't worry about these little things. And that was a higher perspective that came to me at a moment where I was just like, this is such a simple thing, but I could let go of everything. And I don't need to take things so seriously. So, I mean, it's
Hmm.
very practical. And it
Hmm.
wasn't like uh, a galactic higher perspective. It was a really grounded higher perspective that got me out of a serious loop. So
Hmm.
I'll just say for now, that's what it feels like in my body. And then if I'm getting serious about, this, then there's also a higher place where I can go to let go of the seriousness. And then what if I'm like talking about the seriousness of what star system I'm from? There's got to be a higher perspective, right? So like there's always something that will lift me out of the seriousness. So that's what I'm
Mhm.
feeling is the magic of higher perspectives
Oh,
in my
I love
body.
that. I love that. I love both of everything that was said. And I feel like what's happening with my friend who I'm talking to with tomorrow is like there's really nothing there other than what we've made up. And there is a higher perspective of connection. Like, what do we actually want? Because,
Hmm.
like, that's really the question. So, yes, I just am like, and it is lighter and it is like, it's almost like my experience of what happened with us is reaching back to fight, like, because there's something not met. And it's like, that's not the thing, if
And you
that
get to
makes
have
sense.
fun. Like that's what I think is
Yes,
the
and I
fun part.
love
Like,
her.
oh
We
my
have
gosh.
so much fun. We are wild together. Like really,
Mhm.
I went through Mama Gina with her. We're wild, just and and this was very constricted and yeah. So thank you. I just feel such
Mm.
a beautiful connection to it. So thank you both.
I
You're
want to
welcome.
add one more thing. Jeffrey's language of life force energy,
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm.
the thing you are focusing on has its own life force energy, and
Yes.
there's a higher perspective with that.
Yes.
That's good.
Exactly. That's
Hmm.
really good.
And sometimes we get, and he has said this many times to me and other people in the last few months, you're focusing on you, and it's not about you, it's about your clients. And so it's like, that's a higher perspective, right?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Yeah.
So good.
Hmm.
And I'm
Yay.
also feeling like the one woman show is all about higher perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to bring in whatever this new activation code is. And you're going to know what it is before you start doing that work in January. That feels
Mm.
like Dawn will, it will
Yeah.
align in Dawn's field sooner
Mm-hmm.
than your
The
January.
the language,
Yeah, the language for it.
the
Yeah.
specific language, it's very connected to connection. And it's yeah, so and grounded in the earth
Yes.
and the
That's what,
womb. So
yeah, and
all
the
of
womb.
this, the womb space. So yeah. But the higher perspectives, I just wanted to also add it connects. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
connection at the higher perspectives.
Oh,
Like that's
that's what, because when you ask me, like, where are the activations? It's like, oh, have to be in higher perspectives to connect with
yes.
this, which is like,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa.
I'll
And
give you
they're
one
so
other thing that
exciting.
the feeling space about this other one, and I still don't have words, but you understand and heard of the mycelial network, like how the mushrooms all are connected underground and the
Yes.
trees are all connected at their roots.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like that.
And
Exactly.
Aspen Grove.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when I was on my ayahuasca journeys, like I would go talk
Mm.
to the trees because the trees would then transmit the energy and communication to the trees around my home, right? And so I would also offer the tree like what I regurgitated and with water and like it was just all these amazing rituals and
Mhm.
the cleansing and yes, but the mushrooms just so yeah, the mushrooms and the trees, that so speaks to me and how it's all, yes, connected and the roots are connected and oh my God, it's so oh my
So
God.
the words will come. This is the feeling
They're
space
coming,
of
right?
it.
This
I
is,
know.
yeah, so
This is
good,
probably
so
the
good.
longest activation code that has created, had language land, but
Oh, it's so good. And I'm so grateful to you and so appreciate because I can go out there, that you brought it back into my body and and into the earth, because that's
Yeah.
truly
Yeah.
it for me, right? And so I
Hmm.
just so
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm hearing rooted.
Yeah, it's definitely rooted.
So good.
Hmm.
Cool.
So
Thank you.
Pamela, are you?
Okay. Choose one. This is not the easiest thing to do. I'm gonna muscle test. Okay, it's the permission to be in power.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Mm. I will share some words to help me ground in a feeling space. So there's mental activity going on, um, which is uh, it just is. Like
Okay,
it just is. Like permission to
just
be in power. It's just like power is present and it's almost like a permission to like remain in power and not just like um go in and out of, right? Permission to be in power. um well, confidence. I mean, I'm just sharing like the little percolating things. No wobble, no questions. Absolutely no questions. Like that's a high feeling for me. Like there's no mental activity in this permission to be in power. Feels like this is in my body. I can feel like super grounded, stable, uh I'm not worried, like I can feel there's no worry in the field. Um And so I'll say that for right now, and we'll pass it on to Katie Max.
Okay. Um, so I wrote two words. Well, I wrote some other things too, but truth
Mm.
and embodied. And what also came up for me is permission to own all of your parts,
Mm. Hmm.
because there's so much power in that.
oh yeah.
Yes, right?
So good. Oh my
Eh,
gosh.
like there's power in owning the parts that challenge you and letting it nourish you, like getting nourishment from it versus judgment.
Yes.
Like once the judgment hits, there's not the permission to be in your power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's false power.
Yeah. um
Mm.
but to really
Mm.
really claim all your parts as your power.
Oh my gosh. I've been really turned on by this little clip. It's a Maya Angelou clip where she's on stage and she's like And I bring all my ancestors with me.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know what she says. The ones who love me and the ones who wanted to beat me down, they are all behind me. I am not up here without them. They are all present. And that is what you're talking about. That's the
Exactly.
feeling. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
I've
that
been
is it.
wanting to connect that with something, and oh my gosh, permission to be empowered. Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, Pamela. Wow.
How does that land for both what we've said? How does that land for you?
Well, they all feel accurate. All the words feel very accurate, completely. And I'm just reminiscing for a moment how much family constellation work I've done, and how much work I have done with other lifetimes. So much connection to other lifetimes and bringing that all with me, right? Like Maya Angelou's talking about, like I'm so aware that there is no time and space. So all of these other lifetimes are happening simultaneously at a soul level.
Mm-hmm.
And they're accessible, they're all accessible as needed for my
Mm-hmm.
soul in this expression. And so that that piece of all those parts, all of me, has been something I've been conscious of for, I don't know, 40 years, longer.
Mm,
I don't know, sometime in my 20s, and I'm 77, so maybe 50 years, but I've been conscious of that, that there's so much more than just this physical body. For I remember arguing with my minister in high school about this, actually. So it's been around for
I
60
have done that as well, but not all this time. I'm sure we're a group of people who do that.
I
But
just
go
got kicked out of the Christian world, so like
Yeah, what a gift.
yeah.
Especially Catholic school. Oh my
It was
God.
Catholic, yeah, like yeah.
Ah,
Uh-huh. That's
thank
fun.
God you got kicked out. You were saved.
Mm.
And
But
I,
you're
by the way,
arguing
I
with
just
him.
want to say that was a higher perspective at work.
Yes, exactly,
That's a really
exactly.
good example of higher perspective.
Hmm.
Um, Grounded and stable in your body, that feels absolutely true because that's how I feel when I'm trusting intuition.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That's the language I use. I feel really solid in my body, right? Really stable in my
Hmm.
body, really grounded. And
Mm.
so the whole truth and the embodiment, all of that. Um, and I love bringing in I saw Maya Angelou's video on that. Jeffrey posted it, so I saw it on his um, Facebook page and was like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bringing everything with her and the power of that and the embracing that's required to be able to do that.
Total, a hundred
Mhm.
percent. Like that's like I feel like we in our world that conditions us to have views that are limited, like we bring the good bad shit and it's like all of it is what catapult us, right? And to have it all and not push it away, but
Yeah.
use it for your goodness. You use
Right.
it when it was
Yeah.
previously intended not as goodness, but for
Hmm.
you to claim the goodness that you find out of that, oh, that is fucking powerful. And it's really the shift from victim,
Mm.
being feeling
Yes.
like I'm so fucking victimized to I can still hold that in my field and claim what I need out of it, not what
Right.
was intended, but what I need.
Or what
And
the other
that,
person's needs were
yeah, whatever it is, right?
projected
But
onto me. Yeah.
yes,
Hmm.
but I can hold that as opposed to reject it because I was a victim, but hold it in my.
Hmm.
What I
Yeah.
just saw was like a headdress of feathers, right? Of holding all of the ancestral messaging.
I love
with
that image.
without self-harm, but with self-love.
Yeah, like
Right.
come on. We're going. We are all going. You cannot
Yes.
stop me. Like that's that,
Yes.
like that I feel like this permission to be in power is like the antidote when we feel like we can't do something until we fix this, or until I fix my hair, or until I fix my website, or till like there's an until, like there's something
Yes.
broken. And when we can show up, I mean, because the whole stage thing is really present in this, like showing up in our with it all the parts, right?
Yes.
My hair all messy, or my, whatever whatever I think is going to hold me back, but showing up with it all. I just
Mm-hmm.
think that that's gloriously powerful. And that's what feels really exciting about this activation code, Pamela.
It does. And
Totally.
I was telling
Mm,
Lisa the other day when we were talking about our respective novels that I have three sections for this book I'm doing on healing from sexual abuse, but one whole separate either book or whatever is about other lifetimes. And I've talked with you about this, Dawn, about
mhm,
how as I look at other lifetimes in my relationship with sexual abuse and where I've been sexually abusive or neglectful or abusive to somebody else,
mhm,
that I can't just feel victimized in this life because it's not a big enough picture. And so that also feels very connected. It's an empowering place to go to be looking at a much larger picture than just this physical lifetime as the
mhm,
only truth,
Mm-hmm.
the only reality about what's happening at a soul level, because it's so not.
Mm-hmm.
oh
Lifetime is
yeah.
such a limited picture compared with what's big. And I have memories of, I don't know, I've written up stories of, I don't know, maybe 10 different lifetimes were related to all the stuff that I've had memories over the years. And um, so yeah, that feels really expansive. And this permission to be in power feels expansive also.
Mm-hmm.
That's another
Mm.
word I would use
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm.
to be in this. So here's one of the things that's also coming up, the conditioned. We've never talked about the conditioned path of this.
Mhm.
And so the word restriction is coming up. Does that feel like that's a conditioned path?
Well, yeah, I'd say you would feel restricted. I really feel like feeling like I can't is just a complete end of sentence. Like
Okay.
the complete feeling of what's on the conditioned path is like, I can't. And so when we feel ourselves, I can't, we're just totally not giving ourselves permission, right, to do. Um, And I know I've been there, right? Like especially around writing, like this has been like, oh my gosh, this is so uh but I can bring all of the stories. But anyways, that's something. In the judgment, I
Yeah, I was
also
going to
wrote
say
down, mm-hmm,
judgment's huge in that.
mm-hmm,
Like
yeah,
judging parts of ourselves, like um
mm,
yeah, judging
mm,
parts around anything like with your family or like whatever could be in like that's the stop as opposed to being like, oh, there's permission for this here. It's actually
mm-hmm,
part of the higher perspective, the big picture
mm-hmm,
of my relationship to permission to be in power.
Okay.
Right. So, like, if I'm judging something and I'm victimized or I'm hurt or like I can't, any of that kind of conversation, that's the restriction. So, for your word that you feel that restricts you
Yeah.
to be present with permission to be in power, it actually distracts you
Yeah.
mm,
from the truth and tells you into a different zone so that you can avoid permission to be in power.
Hmm. Um, I'm looking at my general condition path feeling, so I can see if there's anything else uh, that I wanted to add. Uh, hmm. I think we got it. I mean, like I don't even feel like constricted is like a
Mm-mm.
conditioned path of this energy. I don't think even anger is either. Like it's not
No, I think anger is very powerful.
yeah. Well, I
Like
mean,
for Katie, being angry was permission to be empowered during her remodel, right?
mhm,
And even today, like I wanted nothing. I was like nothing, and he got nothing, and I gave nothing except the voice I wanted to give to it and goodbye.
mhm,
Yeah,
And without feeling confused, or maybe it's too much, or doubting. Okay, without doubting it.
yeah,
That's what got lifted in this process. Having it go as
right.
long as it did, my doubt has evaporated. And what it's gone to, permission to be in power, and that this is where this lands, is if I need to clean something up, I will. But that's really, and that's so much self-trust
right.
versus feeling victimized.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Self-trust is, if we didn't already write that down, I didn't yet, so I put it on the list.
Yeah, for
We feel
sure.
self-trust.
Self-trust, to be
Yeah.
fucking permission to be in your power with all of it.
Hmm.
Damn, that's hot.
I know. It is hot.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it is an in and out days, yes, days, not so sure, topics, yes, topic, not so sure.
So good.
I'm having a really interesting experience because I was telling Don I changed computers yesterday because the computer I love that I've had since 2019, but have been actively using for the last couple years, maybe the sound went out. And I'm so disappointed because this computer that I ended up buying last year, I don't like the screen because it's very yellow. And I'm having an aesthetics challenge around how yellow everything looks. And I don't want to use it for
Mm.
visual stuff. And it's just, oh my God, it's such an Apollo aesthetics, Apollo life lesson challenge that I'm in, and I'm not. And so my empowerment is I want to find out whether or not I can get a replacement for the sound from my other computer, or I'm going to get another computer because I hate the screen and just sell this one. Because I am not willing to tolerate yellow color. Ugh, it's just really hard. So, yeah, so that's an empowering thing for me to own that that's true and not tolerate it.
Yes.
Mm.
It was the first time I've been having to look at anything with color in it since I attached it yesterday, but I'm just going, oh God, it's so awful. So,
Mm.
solutions. Got to check with my friend Brian.
Mm.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So we have a couple minutes left. I mean, I had no idea that we could go. I mean, we didn't have to go as deep into each one of these, but I'm so glad we did,
Oh,
right?
how could we not?
If there were other people on, we would might have we might have had. Ooh, what happened to Katie?
Oh, I
You're,
froze again, and kind of it. Oh, there we
oh
There we
go.
gosh,
go.
well you had like a total black background. Well, that was
Oh,
really
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, so that was kind of
That happened
Halloweenish.
on the, well, I saw the dark background before when I froze, and I was like, whoa, what was that?
Yeah. Um,
So I
do
want to
we?
bring back the question, the big picture question
Mhm.
of feeling other people's energy. So theoretically, if we're being conscious and we're filling ourselves up with our own energy, how do
Hmm.
we feel other people's activation energy?
Well, I mean, I'll just share what I would do. I'm not bringing your energy into my field, but like well, you know what? I'll talk about Nancy's because her energy has been super helpful for me
Tying
and
up loose ends.
tying up loose ends. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm so, oh my gosh. Are you
Katie
still there,
disappeared
Katie?
completely.
Oh
I don't
no,
know
I
if
have a
she's
picture up, but I just want to go get water and I didn't want to walk
okay,
away
Oh,
okay.
from you.
okay.
Good. Um, so so I mean, I'm aware that I'm aware that her activation is tying up loose ends, and
Closing loose ends is how you.
right, closing loose ends, and
Yeah.
I'm like, and how I'm in that is I'm aware. I'm not borrowing her energy. I'm not taking it. I'm bringing her into my awareness. Like, uh, I couldn't say I'm not even bringing her into awareness. It's just her energy is present, and so I'll just use her for one example. Is like I'm feeling like there's a lot of things that are getting done that and not getting done. Like there are things that have been loops that were open that I'm feeling inspired to close. um, and when I'm thinking of, um, we'll just, oh, I'm going to sneeze. When I'm thinking of your permission to be in power, one, I will bring the consciousness of you into my field when I'm asking for that permission to be in power, right? So
Okay,
I'm not tuning into just your energy or taking from it. I can't take from
I
it.
know.
Um but it's how I feel. Like and especially since I've read everybody's energy, I know how it feels, right? Like I think that that's helpful for me. Like I know how it feels in my body. I'm already processing all everyone's energy through the filter of I I'm full of myself, but I'm also empty of judgment, if that makes any sense. And then I can bring your energy or your the awareness of you in, and I can tap into the field. It's just the field, the
Mhm.
field of energy. It's like I have access to it. I don't know. Do you have any?
Well, and I think that's exactly how you live, and that's why you are the one who's being able to
Mm,
recognize and come up with language for the activation codes. So when I am aware of other people's activation codes, I think their name, I mean, certainly their name, but I don't bring in that energy of them the way that you do. I mean, like, I'm just like when I'm connected to Jeffrey's polarity because it's like one that's commonly around me. Um, then oh yeah, Jeffrey activates polarity, but then I tune into the consciousness of polarity
yeah,
in how I experience it, right? And
yeah.
so, but I don't like image him. That's not how it works for me.
I don't image people
Okay.
either. I mean, I guess, but I could.
Well, you
But
work a
yeah,
lot with visuals, so
yeah.
your intuitive skill set is very visual. Um, yeah, so I'm kind of curious because I'm aware of feeling activation codes. Like your truth activation code is just constantly with me. I mean, it's just telling myself the truth, what part of the
Mm,
truth do I want to communicate if I'm writing a newsletter? Is it time to share this
mm,
truth with somebody when I'm talking with them or something coming up or. through
Mhm.
email or whatever. It's like constantly there. Um, and then just tuning into the feeling of what is relevant for me around the application of it. So that's how I am aware of activation codes.
Yeah,
I relate to both.
I do.
Right. So like I do like, I was just thinking like if I were to tune into Michaelin's activation code of matriarch, it's like it gives like a center, but it's not her, it's but she's a representation of, and then I can bring
Yes.
it to me.
Yeah. That's yeah, when all the activation codes came in, it's like this is your piece, your frequency, your divine frequency. Like this is your piece of the God energy that you're bringing to the planet. And so it's not necessarily, I mean, it's not just Michaelin's, right?
Right.
Right.
Like it's not just
Exactly.
hers. I mean, like it's a divine energy that comes through, and then there's like a handful of people that activate integrity, believe it or not. There's so much need for integrity on the planet.
Hmm.
There's a lot of walking and people walking around activating integrity um and it you know how they express that activation code is a little different based on who they are too. So,
Yeah.
but I do go into the into integrity like often, like oh, I'm aware of it.
Well, it's very
Um,
connected to truth, so that wouldn't
yeah,
be a
Totally.
surprise.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then there's some others that are just like, you know, um, like I want to go, I want to explore it a little bit more. I want to explore that field of energy a little more. Um,
And
trying to
that's your
think.
work, that is
Yeah,
your work in the world. So
right. And I
it
do,
makes
and I
complete
do.
sense to do that.
And I write about them and I explore and I share and yeah.
It's so potent, truly.
Hmm.
The other thing I'm just remembering that I was thinking when you were talking about permission to be empowered, Katie, was what I do with hands is I do bring, if I'm working with somebody long enough, bringing all the pieces of who they are into consciousness.
Hmm.
And so that they have language and an energetic relationship with it. And I'm realizing how powerful that can be for somebody who's actually asking.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah, I
Hmm.
like connecting it with my work in the world, you know.
So
So,
good.
yeah, thank you for all this, Dawn. This is very fun to be talking about activation codes
It
and
is.
I'm so glad. I'm happy that you're having such a great time. I know I'm having a great time. Um, yeah. So I'm going to stop recording. I want to maybe ask you a question if you have a second. Stop
I do.
recording.